Now, witches are known for their artwork, their drawing of symbols, their use of colored powders, and of course the use of natural products like wooden candle holders, even wooden knives. And so this would be more indicative of witchcraft. As you have seen, the difference between the items you might find on an altar from the various different occult styles is subtle. When you pay attention, you'll see that there is indeed a distinct difference. These differences will give you the understanding of the type of group you're dealing with. And when you know the type of group you're dealing with, you'll also learn to understand how they think, where they'll congregate, and where they'll be.
There are many different satanic symbols. Here are a few of the more common ones. The inverted cross. This is used to defame the Christian religions. In a righted position, Christ's head would be looking up towards heaven. In this position, it would point downward towards Satan and hell. By defaming a Christian symbol, the thought is that power is taken away. The numbers 666. According to the Bible, these numbers, 666, are the mark of the beast. The pentagram. This inverted star points downward towards hell and Satan. It is a popular symbol but has no meaning other than a satanic one, and there may be many different versions. The voodoo vivi. As we saw in the park, it represents the type of ritual that occurs. The anarchy, which is the symbol of rebellion. And the swastika. In past history, this symbol has been used by witches and warlocks as a magic emblem. A glossary of selected terms. The altar, a table used for satanic rituals, normally a table of flat rock, but can also be a nude physical female being. The Antichrist. The Bible's book of Revelations describes him as the son of Satan, who will return and be present to receive his powers and challenge Jesus Christ during his second coming. The Baphomet, described as a deity in the form of a goat-headed god with the wings of angels, the breasts of a female, and carrying a torch between his horns. Black magic, magic that is used for destruction and hate. Black Mass, the most diabolical ritual that can be performed by a Satanist. It entails a blasphemous communion with Satan, desecration of artifacts of Christianity, a mockery of the Holy Bible, and all things that Christians religiously cherish. The ceremonies involve rape and sexual assault, sodomy, animal and human sacrifices, and often the slaughter of unbaptized infants. Blood, the life force. Satanists believe that the drinking of another person's blood, or that of an animal, increases their power and provides life force directly to Satan. The circle. The circle is the Satanists' protection from the forces they conjure up during their summoning and incantations. Coven. A group of non-traditional Satanists, not normally exceeding 13. Traditional Satanists do not have covens. Cult. A group of people who follow a leader who, through his charismatic ways, command allegiance, belief, and worship. Infamous leaders include Hitler, Crowley, Jim Jones, and David Koresh. Devil. One such name of Satan, Lucifer, Leviathan, Prince of Darkness. Goat's head, the symbolic identification of Satan in the world. Grottos, countless Satanists in one order or organization. Hand of glory, the left hand of a person who has died. The hand is removed from the body, pickled, embalmed, and mummified. It is then used to ward off evil spirits. The head. Satanists believe that the head is the most important part of the body. They often eat the brain to receive powers of the deceased person. The heart, Satanists believe it to be the center of life. By eating the heart, they believe that assumption of the deceased's characteristics and powers will be thus transferred. Host. Normally using blessed communion wafers, symbolic of the body of Christ, Satanists insert them into the vagina of the altar, or physically stomp, thus desecrating Christian beliefs. Lucifer. When cast out of heaven, he was followed by 1/3 of all the angels. Pagans. Those who practice witchcraft, the worship of nature as well as multiple gods. Satan. An angel created by God, cast out of heaven, and now the object of worship by Satanists throughout the world. Succubus, a female demonic force that copulates with human males. Incubus, a male demonic force that copulates with human females. And witchcraft, the practice of the old religion which focuses on the goddess in her many forms. Perhaps one of the most despicable crimes in general, and in particular among Satanists, is that involving a child. In every state in the nation, there are reports and investigations of satanic crime and satanic ritual abuse. More than 2 million American children each year are reported missing, many of them too young to be runaways. In addition, more than 5,000 unidentifiable bodies of children are found annually in the United States.
Physical abuse was a part of keeping me silent. My fingers were burned on a stove. I was forced to watch pets killed and put in an oven, and I was told that if I talked, the same thing would happen to me. They would dismember bodies and then hang me upside down over a vat. I think it was acid, I'm not sure, but there were body parts, and they told me they would lower me into the acid if I ever talked about this. And one memory I had, in order to get the blood, they used me as the person to get the blood from. It was basically the lamb, the child of God. And they would put pins and needles in between my fingers, and I would be bled so that they could have communion. Another way to keep me silent was to use a gun. Pornography, child prostitution brings in big money, and I was not to talk about that either, and I was threatened to be killed if I talked, as well as burned. They used cigarettes and other forms of burning to keep me silent. And I had a pet bird that they killed in front of me, and then I was put in a cage. And so as a young child, I made the association that if I were in a cage, then I must be like the bird, and if they can kill the bird, they can easily kill me too. Remembering comes out in poetry as well, and my pet bird was killed in front of me, and I was also forced to participate in the murder of babies. And so I wrote a poem about not being able to talk about that. Birds and babies, go away. Mustn't tell, mustn't say. Mommy will get mad at me. Must pretend I do not see. Nothing happened, don't remember. Helter skelter, now dismember. Witches chant and babies burn. Mustn't talk, it will be my turn.
symptoms characterizing satanic ritual abuse and sexual abuse in preschool-aged children. Low self-esteem, feeling of being bad. Child feels deserving of punishment. Child is fearful, clingy, regresses to baby behavior. Separation anxiety. The child is angry and aggressive. The child acts wild, uncontrolled, hyperactive. The child is accident-prone or deliberately hurts himself. The child is negativistic, resistant to authority. The child mistrusts adults. The child is over-compliant with authority, over-pleasing with adults. The child has rapid mood changes. The child is withdrawn, does not play, or plays in a lethargic or unfocused way. The child exhibits a short attention span. The child does not learn. The child's speech is regressed and babyish. He has delayed speech or speech disorder. The child's speech production decreases significantly. There are somatic complaints, stomach aches, nausea and vomiting, nightmares, and sleep disorders. The child is fearful of being touched, fears having genital area washed. The child touches his genitals or masturbates excessively. The child touches or tries to insert fingers into his rectum. The child pulls down his pants, pulls up her dress, or takes off clothes inappropriately. The child touches others sexually or asks for sex. The child is sexually provocative or seductive. He or she complains of vaginal, anal pain, burning when washed or when urinating or defecating. Semen or bloodstains are found on the child's underwear. Detailed and age-inappropriate understanding of sexual behavior. Hints about sexual activity. The child complains that an adult or older child is bothering them. A reference to blood or white stuff in genital area. A statement that someone had removed the child's clothing. A statement that an older child or adult exposed themselves to the child. A child's statement that he or she touched an older child's or adult's bottom, vagina, rectum, mouth, etc. A statement that an older child or adult touched or penetrated the child's bottom, vagina, rectum, mouth, etc. A statement that the child witnessed sex acts. On medical examination, relaxed sphincter control, anal or rectal lacerations or scarring. The child relaxes rather than tenses rectum when touched. On medical examination, enlargement of vaginal opening, vaginal laceration or scarring in girls, sore penis in boys, blood or trauma in the genital area. On medical exam, venereal disease.
Unfortunately, all of the signs of self-involvement, rebellion against authority, self-righteousness, disrespect towards parents, they're common in the growing up years. They're also signs of involvement in satanic cults. Perhaps one of the major signs of cult involvement is when the group moves into obsession. They get stuck on one idea, one type of clothing. They center focus on this idea and they do not deviate. They focus on destruction and on doom. They have many highs and many lows in their self-esteem.